Hey guys, this is Donnie. We're at the property today. I had to go this morning. We got some more power poles. That's what we're using for our perimeter fence for the dogs and the goats. And I got to get them offloaded. Been real busy. Haven't had time to stop and do a show or record anything. So I figured, well, I can do it with my wireless microphone. And hopefully you guys will be able to hear me. The microphone's in my shirt. Right here in the center of my chest, I've got it. There's a magnet that comes with it, and I got the microphone in my shirt. The magnet's on the outside to support it. But anyhow, I'm gonna offload these. This long one on top is 20.5 feet long, and I loaded them by hand, and I'm offloading them by hand by myself. And there's a way that I do it. I've got a bad back, as many of you know. I can't bend over and pick my shoe up without supporting myself. So what I'm using is my legs to offload these, but maybe just seeing how I do it will help you guys out. Those of you that are by yourself, whenever you're working or on these endeavors where you're having to move things that are heavy, and maybe this will help you a little bit. But anyhow, I'm gonna get started. I got to get these offloaded. We didn't make it in time. We're supposed to have been back at 2 at the power company to get some more poles, but I wasn't. It's 2 o'clock now. Anyway, I got a strap. It's just a little circular strap that my brother Chris Claghorn from Claghorn Outdoors, he had gave this to me. It is called, I can't read the name, it's kind of blurred out, something hook. M-Tech hooks, I believe. It's just a little choker strap, but they're really strong. And normally I'll just run it around the pole like that, put a loop in it. I got 2 of them, and I'll run the second one through here. And then I just, using my legs, just sliding it back like this. But the main reason for doing this, you guys recording, is not to show you guys, oh, that was loud, to show you guys what it looks like to offload poles. Everybody here has probably done it more times than I've ever even dreamed of doing something like this. But the reason for this video, that is, Kim had found some pieces of furniture, and they were on Craigslist for free. And as you know, we need furniture, we need sofas, and we need everything that goes in a home. As far as furnitures, we're not bringing anything that's there. A lot of that stuff is really old. Some of it belonged to Kim's grandmother, who built the home, and it'll stay in the home. The home is a family home, and so we're just going to leave that stuff there because it's not actually ours. But while we were at the people's house loading up the furniture they gave us, we got a kitchen table, a couple of, I guess you'd call them end tables of some sort of like an end table, and just a few different odds and ends. But the man, let me grab my wire cutters. The man that was at the house, his name is Ken. I'm not going to give his last name because I don't have permission to do that, but we don't need the last name. But Ken is dealing with, golly, this is hard. This copper ground wire. Ken is dealing with cancer. He's going through the radiation treatments. He lost a kidney they had to take because of it. He's got a lot going on, and so the reason for this video, reaching out to you, for a prayer request from our prayer warriors here. So if you guys would please send some prayers out to Ken and his wife. You know, even though Ken's the one dealing with the cancer, she is part of him, so she's dealing with it all the same. And it's horrible. It doesn't matter who's got it. It affects everyone in your family. So please, let's send some prayers out for Ken and see if we can't get the Lord to speed up that healing process and hopefully kill it off permanently so that it doesn't come back. Oh, that is loud. I hope that isn't coming that loud on the camera. If it is, I apologize. And these, you guys, these poles, they are power poles. And if any of you need poles like this, check with your local power company. The power company that we use, they sell them. These are the old poles. I have to load them up myself, and I've got to cut them, and you pay by the foot for these. And some of these are, you know, they're large, 13-inch, 14-inch in diameter. But they sell them at 50 cents a foot. But they were real good to us. We've got them from them before. And he gave us a bunch of poles that people aren't going to buy because they're old and weathered, like that real long one there. And this one here on top, these two on top, he gave us 5 or 6 of them because they're old. They're treated poles. There's nothing wrong with them other than they're old and they look pretty rough. But they really, they helped us out. They usually do. When we've had to deal with them before, they've been real good to us. And, you know, it's for the goats and the dogs. This is another one of the old ones that he gave us these because they're going to end up, if nobody buys them, then they have to cut them up and then pay to have them hauled off to the dump, to the landfill. And so, since we can use them, he said these right here, people, they keep moving them out of the way because they don't want them. They're not pretty at all. They're just, they're very old, and usually people get these poles for fencing, like what we're doing. That's normally what they get them for. I'm trying to get these staples out so I can pull this long piece of copper off of it. This copper wire that they use for the ground on these is really thick. I don't scrap metal. I'm not allowed to legally, but we use this thick copper wire for the electric fence as a grounding wire. Oh, they work really well for that. Yeah, this pole here is one of them that they gave me because you can see how light colored it is. I don't know if you guys are going to make out how splintered up it is from the camera. But it's in pretty rough shape, but the heart of it is still solid. So for what we're going to use it for, it'll be fine. I'm going to bury it in the ground anyway, and we're just going to drive some nails into it and nail the fence on it. I tried to get 10 foot. Try to get all 10 foot. Some of these are 9.5, some of them are 12 or 13. But what they done, since these longer ones, like this one right here, my foot's on, and there's several on the bottom here, a couple on the top, they're over 10 foot. And I told him we need 10 foot poles, so if it's 11, I'll be cutting off a foot. And he said, well, I'm only gonna charge you for what you're actually gonna use but we still have to haul off the cut off pieces. If there's a 40-foot pole and we need 20 foot of it, then we have to take the whole pole, but the way they do it, they only charge you for what you actually need. So if I needed 20 foot and I cut a pole in half and it was 40 foot, then basically I'd get the other 20 foot for free. And I don't know how they're able to monitor that, because there's a lot of people who take advantage of them and go there and, you know, find long poles, 16-foot poles, and tell them, well, all it needs one 8-foot pole, and you know, they're actually getting two for the same price. This right here, just to give you guys some ideas, some of you that do stuff, you repurpose materials. This goes on the outside of the power pole. Normally they'll run wires up inside of it. It's just a wire chase. Let me show you the end of it. You can see the shape of it. It's like a U. You see that? A chain link fence, the gate on a chain link fence, that little latch, when you close the gate and you lower the latch, it catches the pole. It fits perfect on this. I mean, perfect. So I'm going to put these where my gate is, and we're using chain link gates. So when we close the gate and we lower it, it'll lock over this thing. I've got chain link fence top rail, the pipe. I'm going to run it in the ground, try to get it down about 5 foot. I can dig a 4-foot hole with a tractor. I can put my pole in and then put the pipe alongside it, and I'm going to try to drive it in a little further. And I'll run a couple of screws through the pipe to screw it to the pole, and then this would be over the top of that. And just for a little added strength. It's the only reason I'm adding the pipe. You won't see it. It'll be inside here, and there's enough room. You could probably put 2 pipes in there maybe. But anyhow, if you're wondering why I'm keeping that little conduit or wire chase, whatever they call it, that's the only reason I'm keeping it. We repurpose a lot of stuff. Kim told me we had some more prayer requests, but she went inside. She was out here, and I don't know who the other prayer request was for. Maybe she'll come out before I get done. But Ken definitely needs prayers. So please shoot him a few prayers if you don't mind. This is another one of the free ones he gave me. It's just old, and you know, it's dry cracked, it's split, but the center of it's hard. I think he gave us 5 like this, and he didn't charge me. We got all them poles. You pay by the foot, 50 cents a foot. And we ended up, well, I'll tell you exactly what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. We have 23 poles that he gave us, and well, that we bought. All of them are well, the majority of them's 10 foot. We've got 2 that are 11. We have 1 that's 13. We got 3 that are 11 and 1 that's 13. But we only needed 10 foot. And so he only charged us for 15 10-foot poles because of what we're doing with the goats. And he said, I just want to help. Because if nobody takes them, they cut them up and they haul them to the dump. And so we ended up with all these poles. It was $75, and then with tax, it came to $79.50. And you can't get the little small, the 6-foot wooden poles from Tractor Supply. The ones that are 3-inch in diameter at the thick end, I think they're $8 a piece for them. And I'm getting 10-foot power poles. Some of them are 8 and 10 inches in diameter at the small end, and they're $5. So yeah, just a way to, if you guys are looking for poles, this will save you a lot of money, and they will outlast you. These things are built solid, and they're all pressure treated. So you do, when you come on the property to get them, you do have to sign a waiver because they're pressure treated. If you get a splinter from it, there's a pretty high chance you're going to get infected. That last pole right there, that one there's close to 11 feet too. Hopefully we're gonna start moving like our chest freezer and or chest freezers. We're gonna try to start moving them. Trying to get it where it doesn't roll. There we go. We will be moving soon. The fence you see behind me, these little stakes, this is where the T-posts were going to go. That's on 9 foot spacing, but I'm gonna come in the middle. I'm gonna add another power pole all the way around because we don't have enough T-posts. They're a little over $6.50 a piece for them, and that's for a 6.5 foot T-post from Tractor Supply. That's the cheapest place around here. So these poles here are a lot cheaper, and so we are going to, we're going to use as many of these as we can to try to save some money on cost. You know, in these days, cost is everything for all of us. We're all struggling to one extent or the other. I wish all of them were the size of this one, the diameter. This in here is perfect for fencing. And they're much easier to handle for sure. There's a lot of these poles, I don't know if you guys are able to see it, a lot of them have things bolted to them or bolted through them, and so that stuff I will have to remove. But for as cheap as we're getting them, I don't care if we have to remove stuff off every single one of them. It's still worth it. That's a big pole right there with all that wire hanging off. Just heard something. Sounded like somebody clearing their throat. It's not Kim. Kim's inside the house and all the windows and doors are shut. That was either over here or back here. It was somewhere. Yeah, I don't know what that was. It may have been an animal. Hopefully it was an animal. Oh, that's loud. Well, I hope y'all ain't hearing that, how loud this is banging around. Oh. I'm just paying attention, you guys. I may move the camera. That's a little much. I thought I heard something a minute ago when I was setting the camera up, but I just wasn't sure. Now that I did hear something, it's got me. I'm not feeling anything at all, but it's knowing that I heard something. It's I may just give me just a second. I'm gonna move the camera up over here, aiming this way, because that's all big timber back there, all of that. Well, all the way around back behind the camera, all of that out there. The house is right there. I'll turn the camera in just a second where you guys can see where I've got you sitting. Okay, let's move the camera. I keep imagining that I'm hearing stuff. Let me show you where I've got you guys mounted. All right, there's the house. See all of that right there? All of this is woods, all the way around. Now, whatever I've heard or hearing, sounds like it's somewhere either back here or over on this side. I'm not sure exactly where it's at. Let's move this. I got the camera on a tripod, on a big tripod. Okay, let me get it positioned right. Turn it a little more so we can get all of that area maybe. There we go. Make sure. Right. Yeah, that'll get all of it. These big wooden spools, they gave us 3 of them, and he's got like 30 of them that he's gonna hold for me. So we're gonna try to pick them up maybe tomorrow. We'll take the trailer up there, and they're not charging us anything. They're gonna give it to us. We use the spools for the goats. You can take them spools and lay them on their side. If you could pile some dirt up under them to where they're not flat, but they're at an angle, and then put roofing shingles. We got several bundles of old roofing shingles when they replaced our roof after Hurricane Michael. So we nailed them on them and have them at an angle, an incline. The goats would just play on them all day, but the shingles will file their hooves down to where you don't have to use a farrier to get them cut. It just saves a lot of money and a lot of stress, because the goats do get stressed out when you go to do their feet. They don't like their feet messed with. I'm gonna take this pole. These are some cut off pieces right here. Oh, maybe 4.5 foot. We got 2 of them. Most of the poles here, the way I measured them out, we didn't have any cut off, because whatever you cut off the pole, you also have to take that with you. And we only had 1 cut off, but there was this second one. Kim wanted to bring it for some reason, so we brought it too. Oh, okay. For those of you that you're gonna watch this on a big screen, let me know if y'all see anything, please. Anything back, especially back in here. I'm sure it's an animal of some type. I don't think it's, one of the big guys making that noise, but the first one sounded like somebody clearing their throat, and the second sound just sounded like, sort of like a grunt, like a pig grunt. I'm just sliding these poles, and I'm using my legs, you guys, so I don't have to mess my back up any worse. Just using my arms and my legs, just kind of pulling it so my back's not, hopefully, not gonna be impacted. Ooh, that one's heavy. That outside one was hit by lightning, and it's got a burn spot on it. But when we cut the 10-foot ones, it was one entire pole. We got two 10-foot ones and two 10-foot ones and then a 9-foot piece. And I told him, I said, well, we'll use it. It's burnt, we can use it for something. We don't have to have 10-foot, but to be able to put them in the ground 3-foot and run the 4-foot fence wire and then run a couple of strands of wire at the top like electric fence wire. It won't be electric, but just as an extension, because Louie, many of you know who Louie is, our goat. He's the real big one. He just hops over. A 4-foot fence is like us stepping over a curb. He just hops right over it. And if he hops over out here, he's taking a risk of a coyote getting him. And it would kill me if something happened to the goats due to a coyote and stuff that could have been prevented just by running a little piece of electric fence wire. Oh boy, this is heavy. Holy cow. Oop. This is real heavy. This pole may be a couple 100 pounds. I'm gonna put it on the end over here on the ground. Yeah, that's loud. So to get the fence done the way we need it done, we need 23 10-foot poles here for the dogs part, and then we needed additional ones in the very back, right behind the dog. These poles right here, just behind this oak tree, we're going to extend off another 50 foot. And then go across and then come back up and tie it on that side, and that's where we're going to have the goats for now. Eventually, they're gonna have pretty much the entire property, with the exception of where the dogs will be. So we're just hoping that'll happen. Hard it again. We're just hoping that'll happen a little sooner than what it's looking. I don't know if the microphone may pick that up. That was pretty loud that time. It just sounds like a grunt, like a pig grunt. That's all that I'm hearing. We've had pigs on the property, not here, way back there. 3 times I caught pigs on the trail camera, but each time it was a single pig, a sole pig, a boar. Oh, this is gonna be loud. Oh, there we go. Oh, good deal. Oh, also, I'm working with another company on another review for a trail camera, a cellular trail camera, and it's, I can't remember the name, Ongsai or something, and yes, it is made in China, you guys, but me personally, yes, I support my country. I support buying American made, But when it comes to getting things, any item that is any type of AI or technology is involved, me personally, I would rather have Chinese or Japanese. Just from my personal experience, it seems that it works better, and there's plenty out there to prove what I'm saying is true. Look where all the internal components for Apple, the iPhones and the computers, the Macs and all the Androids, all the smartphones, all the internal parts are coming from China. And there's a reason. They are very advanced in technology. But anyhow, outside of that, this camera is a cellular camera they sent me. I've got it in the field right now. We took it out. It's gonna be loud, you guys. I took it out. Kim and I rode out to the hunting property where we have all the wild pigs at. And we had one of my brother Tom, who he hunts with us. Me, him, and Chris do a lot of hunting together. And Tom has 3 50-gallon barrels slap full of corn from last year, last hunting season. He uses corn to hunt, and so I asked him, because he was going to dump it, and I said, well, can I come and get some from you? I'm doing a review on another trail camera, and this time of the year is hard to catch the animals. It's hard to really plot them out because you're not dealing with rut. It's just a little bit harder, and plus having the time to get out there. So to speed things up, I'd take some corn out there, dump it out, the pigs come in, and what I did, I baited the pig trap up. I put whatever 42 times 5 is, that's how much corn I put out. A 5-gallon bucket filled to the top is 42 pounds of corn. I dumped 5-gallon buckets. Some of it's outside the trap, leading up to the trap. The majority of it's inside the trap. And I got that camera watching the trail going to the trap. And so we should get some, we just did it yesterday. Normally when we drive the vehicles into that property, usually it's 2 days and then the pigs show up. So we should start getting them on camera tomorrow morning, I hope. But as soon as we get some caught in the trap, I'm gonna bring you guys over there with me, and I'm gonna do a live stream because there is just enough cell signal there that I can do a live stream and let you guys see how the pigs are, the wild hogs. Oh my Lord, that was loud. When you trap them, they're very dangerous animals, but you can see they'll go over the top of the trap sometimes. I've got several pictures. I don't know that I still have them, but I had several pictures of a nice healthy boar hog, literally as he was going over the top. I think I had 3 different pictures of that. I got this one giant. This is a 13-foot pole right here. This one was a booger to load up. This one here, 13 feet long, a little over 13 feet long, and it's 13 inches across the butt end of it. Oh my Lord, this one's heavy. When I was pulling this in on the trailer, I didn't have the strap hooked on it right, and I went to pull. The strap came off, and I went backwards about 3 feet and landed on my back on that steel deck trailer. But if I'd have been 2 feet further toward the end, my head would have hit the winch on it. That would have been really bad. Holy mackerel. This pole here is probably, imagine it's close to 500 pounds. Golly, it's very long. Oh, there we go. That one's kind of pushing it as far as my weight limit. A little much. And this one right here on the end and the third one, the third one here are very thick. They're very heavy. I think I may grab this one next. This one here is 11 foot long. We got it marked right here. That black line, that's the 10-foot mark. There's something out there, for sure. It's not a pig. We won't have pigs come up this close. Might be a bear. I'm not familiar with how bears, how they act. I just got alert from the pig camera, the trail camera with the at the pig trap. Got nothing on it. No daytime. I got an alert, but it may be because my signal's not good. It may not come through yet, but I'll check in a minute. If it comes through and we got pigs on it, I'll show you guys the picture. Good gracious. Oh, it's trying to roll off of my tail light. There we go. Good gracious. Oh, that one's heavy. Heavy, heavy. Gosh. I've got a ratchet strap. On the it goes from fender to fender, the skirting on the inside of the fender, so you can't see the tires if you're on the trailer. It's sheet metal, but the welds are broke and it's popped in, and it blew that tire out and it ate part of this tire up. So I drilled a hole on each side and I bolted a little eye bolt thing on it, and then I got a ratchet strap and I cranked it tight to pull those two skirts together, get them off my tire. But I have to put these pieces of steel. Oh, that rolled over on my foot. I have to put these pieces of steel up here so that these poles don't tear that ratchet up. Oh, gosh. This one, and that third one there are heavy. I don't know what that is. I don't know if the microphone picked it up, if y'all heard it that time. It's behind me. It's coming from over here. On this side, this right side. It sounds like a pig. But a pig's not going to stick around with me over here talking. It's just, all it is a grunt, or grunting. But it sounds just like a pig. I know bears grunt. I've never heard one grunt, but I know they grunt. hope it's not a bear. Maybe not. I'd rather deal with a pig, for sure. Yeah, this one right here. Oh, this pole I just pulled off is the only 8-foot pole that we got. It's actually 9, but we got it marked to cut it off at 8 feet because we can use it on this fence down the side. We could use it in between the poles. I just won't be able to put it in the ground very deep. We're putting these posts in the ground about 40 inches. Because we're not using concrete. And I don't want them to lean over and the fence go down. Oh, gracious. It's 5 or 6 times now I've heard the grunt. It might be a bear. Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea what it is. I don't like it, whatever it is. I just don't care for that stuff. I'm trying to listen to it and pay attention to what I'm doing at the same time, and I'm just not real good at that. Uh-oh, here come the spools. Kim's she hung a little thing, forget what they call them, the wind blows and they make a jingle, chimes. She put some chimes over here where the dog is buried from the previous landowner. And it sounds like they're jingling from over here in the woods, but the chimes are over there. But I keep hearing jingling over here. It sounds just like the chimes. Which that could just be because the wind's blowing a little bit. Maybe it's throwing the sound. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think she put one over there in the woods. She may have, though. This pole here is long, too. Gosh. Oh, this is that 11-foot one. See if we can make a gap right there. There we go. I could drag. Oh. See if I can get this one here. It's got a metal hook on it. That one may be a little easier to move. Sounds like tapping. I don't know what's making that noise. Getting a little creepy though. I hope it's coming out on the camera. I don't have a way to check it to see if it's on the audio without without actually editing or downloading the footage to my tablet. Oh. This microphone is set up, the wireless microphone does have a headphone jack to where you can, if you got somebody working your camera, they can listen to the audio to make sure that that it's coming through all right. But I don't have headphones anyway. It requires a plug-in headphone, and all I have is a wireless kind of headphone. The Apple wireless one. See if I can turn this one. It's got a big old plastic jack on it right here. No, not that far. There we go. What the heck is that? That was it again. It's a grunt. That's definitely a grunt. I mean, it's not out of the question that it may be a pig. Maybe pigs used to people feeding them back there, but normally a pig, you know, you'll hear several grunts like that. It's not just one grunt. Every time I heard it now, it's just been one grunt, one. I don't know. I guess it could be a bear. I hope not, but there ain't no telling. We're surrounded by forest, miles of forest, so it's very possible. I don't know anything else. A deer would grunt, but it's not a deer grunt. I know what that sounds like. Oh, this is that heavy one here. Oh, gosh. That grunting's kind of getting me a little creeped out. I don't want to deal with a bear if that's what it is. If it's a pig, I'd like to at least see him. Whatever it is, I'd like to see it because it. There's a berm of dirt right here. 20 foot past it is another berm. Behind that berm is about a 4-foot drop, and then it's real thick right there. And it sounds like it's coming from that general area. But I get this stuff off, I'll be able to look and see. There might be a bird that makes that kind of noise, but if there is, I ain't familiar with him. I don't know what it would be. Oh. Yeah. Oh, one more. Crud. For some reason, I was thinking that was the last one. Okay. This one here is pretty banged up. That is aggravating me. I keep hearing it, but I just don't know what it is. I'm familiar with a lot of animals that do grunt, but that sort of sounds like a pig grunt. Then again, it doesn't. It's got a weird tone to it. Oh, come on. Everything's getting tangled up when you don't need it to. I don't know if you heard that. Sort of a knocking, a tap. Not a knock, a tap, like a tapping sound. That was what I heard a minute ago too, that same little tap. It almost sounded like somebody tapping a rock on a piece of glass, tapping it pretty hard, like almost hard enough to break the glass is what it sounds like. Ooh. That was right over there. Yep, it's right there. It's twice. Oh. Kim's inside the house, so I don't believe that's her. There it is again. It's a tapping, almost like a clack. These are the goats' playground right there. It's making a lot of noise, whatever's over there. Guys, we have not blessed the property yet. I know I get a lot of people that have, reached out to me about us blessing the property now, and it makes sense, but with my belief system, what's sort of drilled within me is once we are moved in, the first day that we come here to sleep in the house as our new home, that's, we need to be, the property needs to be blessed at that point. And it's just, it's my personal beliefs. It's just something that's been instilled within me for a long time. Every property I've been at, the ones that we've blessed, that's how I've always done it. It felt like the right thing to do. But there's going to be 4 of us blessing the property. My brother-in-law is he's a reverend. I forget the title, but he was up here 3 days ago. He came up here, and I told him, shared with him some of the other stuff that's going on up here that I think you guys know about. I'm not sure. I don't remember if I've shared it, but anyway, I told him what was going on, and I asked him if he would join me and help when we go to bless the property and surrender it to our Creator. And so him and my sister, they're both anointed in the Holy Spirit. And if anyone has the power to deliver God's word onto a land, it is them. And so they're the 2 of them, and Kim and myself, we're going to walk the 4 corners of this property. We're going to walk the corners on that property that joins it, because there are 2 separate properties right now. We're going to make sure that all the corners, the 4 on this one and all the corners on that one, that we have all the corners. I'm going to dig a hole at the corner, at the marker, the survey marker, and we are going to bury a blessed, anointed item at all the corners. And that will build a supernatural barrier around the property. Not so much to keep everything out, but it's to keep the bad out. If they're on the property and we put them walls up, or our Creator puts those walls up, they may still be on the property, but they are going to have their hands tied as far as them able to do anything to us, to me and my family. That'll give us, we won't have control over them, but we'll have the power of the Holy Spirit within us that they can't do nothing to us. And that's the end goal. I'm still waiting on it. It's not doing that grunt nor that clacking sound. I'm going to wait a minute and see if it starts back up. The whole time I was offloading it, I was hearing that clacking noise, like somebody taking a rock on a thick piece of glass and going clack, clack, like clacking it. I heard that clacking when I was rolling the 2 spools off the trailer just now. I'm not hearing anything right now. Let me put this stuff in the back of the truck. Just keep, if you don't mind, please keep your eyes out on this area right here, because the sound's coming from right here now. The original grunting noise was coming from somewhere back up in there. I'm not sure exactly where, but it sounded like it was back there toward that. You got a big oak right here to the right. To the left of it in the distance is a big pine tree. It sounded like it was somewhere near that tree, but I wasn't looking right at it when it was happening. I had my back turned, or I had my side toward it, and what I could hear, it sounded like it was coming from there. Let me throw this stuff in the truck right quick. Oh, well, I think I'm gonna get it in. Come on. Oh, me. Got my gas can from my chainsaw back here. Alright. Well, anyway, guys, I'm going to put the camera up. Please don't forget to throw some prayers out for Ken and his family. Let's get him healed up. Y'all have an amazing afternoon. I love you. Be blessed in all you do. Be kind and be safe. We do have some more articles that Brother Don Moore sent me. If any of you, if you're new here, our Brother Don Moore, he's part of our channel. He is like the backbone to what the research and the articles and all that I share with all of you, that comes from him, his work. If you'd like to see any of the pictures that go with the articles that I've shared in the past, please check out his channel. I will put his channel link in the description below this video. Anytime I put articles up, if he has photographs for those articles, he will put a video up. In the title of the video, it will have the name of whatever articles I share, the title I put on that video, he will add it to the title of his, so you won't have any mistake in which pictures you're looking at. But I'll put his link down below for you, and if you do go over there and check it out and you like what you see, please consider subscribing to his channel, helping him build his numbers up. That was loud. But guys, I'm gonna go inside. I've got something I got to do in the house. I got to check some receptacles, try to figure out what breaker they're on. But I'll see you guys soon. Have an amazing day. I love you. God bless you. Be kind and be safe, and we'll see you down the road. Bye-bye.